Hi everybody, so today I will not be talking about any specific weed, but I will be talking about what I do to manage those weeds that I pulled out and any clippings. Now, as a gardener who likes to reuse, recycle, and repurpose, I'll show you how I manage all that. All right, so whenever I pulled out weeds or do prunings and cut back and all that, I have a specific place that I put them. So this is just one of the places that I designated to put all the clippings and the weeds that I pulled out. So I have cardboard underneath here, but you don't need to. I had cardboard initially here because I wanted to prevent the weeds from growing, that I already had weeds underneath there. So I just put the cardboard there, and I didn't want the cardboard to be flying around initially. And so I decided to go ahead and make this area into an area that I'm going to be doing kind of like a cold compost. Just put all the things that I don't want in the garden, like clippings and weeds that I pulled out, and just lay them flat over here, spread them all out. As you can see, I did that. And over time, they're just going to degrade and they're going to go back into the soil. So all this is nice organic matter that will return to the soil. You can see I have daylilies that I pruned here, also the liatris, and then just weeds that I pulled out here and there around this general area, and they're all here. And like I mentioned, over time, everything is going to be broken down, and it's going to turn this into a nice mulch area that will eventually, of course, all degrade down and become part of the soil here. All right, if you come down here, this is part of the pathway, and this area seemed to always have more weeds popping up, and I knew that I wouldn't have a good handle on it just because I have a lot of other beds to take care of. So I came up with a good idea to just lay down all the clippings and weeds that I pulled out and put them all over here, and it has worked out really good. I see few weeds popping out here, and usually they're the more aggressive ones, more vigorous, that will come up, like grass, like right here. But they're still easier to control, and you won't get like them all growing prolifically or a lot. I can't say that word. You don't have a lot growing at once, and it's just easy to pull out. For the most part, you can see that there's not a lot of weeds right here, and mainly I just don't want it to be growing up in the flower bed right there. So that's kind of like my threshold. So this area has worked out really good, and you can see here that's easy to pull out. This is one of the weeds that can grow through fabric liner, so it's easy to pull out, and I just lay it on top like that. And then this grass right here, it might be a little bit harder to pull out. I need to get like a spade, but since we just got some rain, it might be easier to pull out. So as you can see, I don't have a lot of it, and it's just going to be easy to pull out in no time. I pulled out these already, so I just lay on top like that, and it's just going to degrade over time, just like that. All right, here was the area that I pulled out a while back, pulled out the weeds. So for this area, instead of using a spade to create a trench over here, you can see I started right there, but I was like, oh, that's just too much work. So what I decided to do was just lay the weeds that I pulled out just on top of one another. So all of these were just a pile of weeds that I pulled out, and I just piled them on top of the weeds that were already existing down there as well. So you will see that I will still have weeds growing out here, but that's okay. It'll be easy to pull out. And so what it's nice about it, it just serves as a nice mound over here. and you can see the grass right there. It's not perfect, but what I'll do is, you know, I'll come back and pull out these grasses here and then pile on top and just keep doing it until, you know, I get a nice mulch layer over here. And I can either, once everything's broken down, I could move all that mulch back into the flower bed there, or I can just continue to keep piling and make a nice higher mounding area over here. So that way, you know, I still have everything here. I'm not discarding things. Everything stays in my property here, or stay in the landscape, and over time it's just going to degrade nicely into the earth here, into the soil, and definitely it's organic matter, and it's going to be enriching the soil here. So for some of you, this might not look attractive to just have, you know, like dead weed just laying around like this. So I would designate a space in your garden, preferably in the back garden, or an area where you don't mind people seeing. It can still look nice and neat. So like I have here, it's like a mounding border area. So it looks intentional, like I did this on purpose. And I make it in a way that it's kind of like nice and neat. In the other areas, one is part of the pathway, so I already have like borders on either side to kind of bring everything kind of like in a neat, tidy kind of way, like it's organized somewhat. So because of that, it looks nice, even if I just have a pile of things on top. And the one with where the flower bed is, that one I have borders on either side, and I make it in a way that it does look more attractive. It looks a little bit neater than if I was just to pile it without some intention to it. So that's how I'm able to make it look a lot neater and a lot more intentional. I'm not just piling things on top of one another. So what about those places where they are so far away from the areas that I discard these clippings and weeds? So in those areas, I will have like pots or containers, and designated pots and containers, and I will put these clippings and weeds in there, and when they are full, I'll just go ahead and unload them to one of those designated areas, preferably the area that is closer to the container where I'm, you know, collecting those things. So a question that might come up is, what about weeds that could germinate? So what I do is I try to pull out any weed before they go to seed. What that means is, you know, they've already flowered and they're already setting seeds. So I try my best to not let them go to seeds. So if they do go to seed, what I do is I make sure that I isolate them, either put them in a bag or just lay them on the hot concrete and just get them to die. And once I see that they're dead, then I'll just put them back into the areas where I have the coal compost, where I lay all the other things. Now, if for some reason you still have some germinations, it'll be okay, because it'll be easier for you to contain and pull those out anyway. And so far it's been going well. I have not seen any like lots of seeds germination, but if I do, like I mentioned, it'll just be easy to pull them out, and I know that they're contained. All right, I think that is it for this video. If I left anything out, if you have any questions or comments, you can write them down in the comment section down below. And thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it enjoyable and helpful. And until my next video, take care and bye for now.
Thank you for watching this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe and ring that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on any content, folks.